Look, King Charles, he's apparently hinted at one brutal test for his son, Prince William, ahead of him becoming the future monarch. What does this involve, Angela?
Yeah, I'm really interested in this, and this is coming from a source that says that the king wants William to reconcile with his brother Harry, and that he says that for him to be monarch, he needs to put the monarchy duty above his own emotions.
King Charles demands Prince William reconcile with Prince Harry before taking the throne. Before we dive into this royal bombshell, make sure to like this video, share it with fellow royal watchers, and subscribe for the latest royal updates. The royal ultimatum nobody saw coming. Imagine sitting at one of the most famous dinner tables in the world. The candles flicker softly across polished silverware. The atmosphere is tense enough to cut with a royal butter knife. King Charles III sits at the head of the table, calm but firm, delivering words that could shape the future of the British monarchy forever. Then he says it. Prince William must reconcile with Prince Harry before becoming king. According to reports from royal insiders, King Charles has allegedly made it clear that William needs to put duty above personal emotions if he is to one day wear the crown. And honestly, if this claim is true, it could be one of the most significant royal interventions we've seen in years. Because this isn't just about two brothers having a disagreement over old family wounds, media pressure, or differing life choices. This is about the very future of the monarchy. Could King Charles really be pushing for peace behind palace walls? Could Prince William, long seen as deeply hurt by Harry's public revelations, be willing to open the door to reconciliation? And perhaps the biggest question of all, would Prince Harry even accept it? What's unfolding behind the palace gates might be far bigger than anyone imagined, and the next chapter may surprise even longtime royal watchers. To understand why this alleged royal demand is making headlines, we need to revisit where it all began. Once upon a time, Prince William and Prince Harry were the inseparable royal duo. They were often seen laughing together at public engagements, sharing private jokes during solemn ceremonies, and presenting a united front after the tragic loss of their mother, Princess Diana. For years, they represented something rare inside the royal family: genuine brotherly warmth. Remember those iconic moments? The playful nudges during official appearances, the knowing smiles, the way Harry often seemed to lighten William's serious demeanor. It felt authentic. It felt unbreakable. But then came adulthood, marriage, different responsibilities, different visions for life, and slowly, cracks began to appear. At first, royal observers dismissed rumors of tension as media exaggeration. After all, siblings argue. Even royal siblings probably bicker over who gets the better seat at state banquets. But what seemed like ordinary friction soon became impossible to ignore. The divide widened dramatically after Harry and Meghan stepped back from royal duties in 2020. Then came the interviews, the accusations, the bombshell revelations, the memoir. Each new disclosure seemed to drive another wedge between the brothers. And now, years later, that fracture appears far from healed. But why would King Charles intervene now? Why King Charles is reportedly stepping in? Being king isn't just about ceremonial waves and opening Parliament. It's about protecting the institution. And King Charles understands that perhaps better than anyone. He spent decades waiting to ascend to the throne, watching the monarchy navigate scandal after scandal, from public divorces to explosive media exposés. If there's one thing Charles knows, it's this: a divided royal family weakens public confidence. The monarchy thrives on symbolism, unity, continuity, stability. When the world sees division at the top, questions naturally follow. Can this institution still command respect? Can it adapt to modern times? Can it survive internal fractures? Sources suggest Charles believes that for William to become a successful monarch, he must demonstrate an ability to rise above personal grievances. That's no small ask. After all, William reportedly felt deeply betrayed by Harry's public criticism of the family. Imagine your sibling writing a best-selling memoir detailing private family conflicts for millions to read. That's not exactly the kind of thing that gets smoothed over with a quick apology and tea. Yet Charles may see reconciliation as essential for the monarchy's long-term survival. Why? Because history has shown what happens when royal divisions spiral out of control, and the parallels are impossible to ignore. The shadow of royal history. The British monarchy has faced family rifts before. Some ended quietly. Others shook the institution to its core. Think back to King Edward VIII. His decision to abdicate for Wallace Simpson triggered one of the monarchy's greatest constitutional crises. Then there was the turbulent marriage of Charles and Diana, which unfolded publicly and deeply affected the royal family's image. The lesson? Private royal conflicts rarely stay private. They become public spectacles. And when they do, the monarchy often pays the price. King Charles likely remembers all too well the years of media scrutiny that followed family discord. He understands that unresolved tensions between William and Harry could cast a long shadow over William's eventual reign. No monarch wants their early years defined by family drama. Instead, Charles may be trying to create a smoother path forward. History also shows that reconciliation cannot be forced. And that's where things get complicated. Could this be less of a command and more of a plea from a father who wants peace before it's too late? The answer may reveal far more about Charles than many realize. Strip away the titles for a moment. Forget the crowns, palaces, and centuries of tradition. At its core, this is also a deeply human story. A father watching his sons drift further apart. Reports about King Charles's health in recent months have inevitably led to broader reflections about legacy. When people confront questions of time, priorities often shift. Family wounds that once seemed manageable suddenly feel urgent. Could Charles be looking at the fractured relationship between William and Harry and feeling an overwhelming need to fix it? It's not hard to imagine. Many families experience this exact dynamic. Parents often hope their children will resolve conflicts before major life transitions. And becoming king is perhaps the biggest transition imaginable. Charles may genuinely believe that unresolved resentment would burden William's reign from day one. There's also emotional symbolism here. Princess Diana famously valued her son's bond. Would Charles feel a responsibility to honor that connection? Would healing this rift be his way of preserving something Diana cherished? These questions add layers of emotional complexity to an already extraordinary situation. But if reconciliation is the goal, the biggest obstacle may not be Charles. It may be William himself. Why Prince William may resist. Reconciliation sounds wonderful in theory. In practice, it's messy. Trust, once broken, isn't rebuilt overnight. Prince William has reportedly felt hurt and frustrated by Harry's repeated public comments about the royal family. From televised interviews to the release of Spare, Harry's disclosures were deeply personal and highly public. For William, this may have crossed lines that are difficult to uncross. There's also the issue of responsibility. As heir to the throne, William operates under immense pressure. Every move is scrutinized, every expression analyzed. He likely sees protecting the institution as a central duty. From his perspective, Harry's actions may have appeared reckless. That creates a painful dilemma. How do you forgive someone you believe jeopardized the very institution you've dedicated your life to serving? And even if William wanted reconciliation, trust would need rebuilding carefully and privately. No cameras, no headlines, no leaks. That's easier said than done in a family constantly under global scrutiny. Still, if Charles truly issued this challenge, it places William in a difficult position. Would he prioritize personal pain or royal duty? That choice could define his future as king. But there's another side to this equation we can't ignore. What about Harry? Would Prince Harry even want reconciliation? This may be the million-dollar question. Prince Harry has consistently expressed mixed emotions about his royal family relationships. On one hand, he has spoken openly about pain, disappointment, and feelings of exclusion. On the other, he has repeatedly said he wants reconciliation. That contradiction has left many royal watchers puzzled. Does Harry truly want healing? Or does he want accountability first? There's a difference. Reconciliation often requires compromise. It requires difficult conversations. It sometimes requires accepting that not every grievance will be resolved perfectly. Would Harry be willing to meet William halfway? And would Meghan's perspective influence that process? The Sussexes have built a new life in California, far removed from royal traditions. Their priorities may differ significantly from those of the palace. Re-entering closer family dynamics could come with emotional risks. Still, Harry has often spoken nostalgically about his relationship with William. The bond they once shared clearly mattered deeply. That emotional history could become the foundation for eventual healing. If both brothers still care beneath the hurt, there may be hope. But hope alone isn't enough. Real reconciliation requires action, and that's where the monarchy faces its biggest test. So where does this leave us? If reports are accurate, King Charles has placed an extraordinary expectation before Prince William. Not just to lead, not just to inherit, but to heal. Whether William accepts that challenge remains uncertain. Whether Harry would respond positively is equally unclear. Yet one thing is certain. The future of this relationship will shape the future narrative of the monarchy. A reconciliation could signal renewal, strength, evolution. A continued divide could reinforce perceptions of fracture and unresolved pain. For royal watchers, the coming months may offer subtle clues. A shared appearance, a softened statement, an unexpected olive branch. In the royal world, even the smallest gesture can carry enormous meaning. And if peace does emerge, it may become one of the defining stories of this generation of royals. The story of people saw two brothers united by loss, strengthened by shared experience. Watching that bond unravel has been painful for many. The idea that King Charles may now be urging reconciliation offers a glimmer of hope. Hope that wounds can heal. Hope that family can transcend conflict. Hope that even in the most public of families, private forgiveness remains possible. But reconciliation requires courage. It requires humility. And perhaps most of all, it requires choosing connection over pride. Only time will tell whether William and Harry are ready to make that choice. What do you think? Do you believe King Charles is right to push for reconciliation? Should Prince William put royal duty above personal feelings? Or is some damage simply too deep to repair? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your perspective matters, and this conversation is